करेंगे, ठीक है? Because in your UPHESC syllabus, your master's syllabus and all of that, therapy portion or the clinical portion is actually known as applications of psychology. उसमें और भी चीजें आती हैं, okay? Okay, all right, Geet, no problem. चलो, ठीक है. Now, in developmental psychology, what is most important? So there are theories like cognitive development by Piaget. There are theories of Vygotsky. There are theories such as Erikson's. There are theories such as Kohlberg's. Those are the most important ones, and those are where the students struggle the most. So that's what I'm going to discuss today. Okay? Why is this still showing social psychology? No, no, no. Human development. Bronfenbrenner will be asked for you at a higher level. हायर लेवल पे आपको पूछेंगे, आपको मास्टर्स एंट्रेंसेस में ज्यादा नहीं पूछेंगे. Bronfenbrenner, you just need to understand that it is the bioecological theory of development, and there are multiple systems. Where do we start with? We start with the microsystem, the mesosystem, the exosystem, and then you have what? The macrosystem. Yeah, and then you have chronosystem, which is nothing but the time. उतना अगर आप जानते हैं मास्टर्स एंट्रेंस या फिर regular entrances के लिए, more than enough. If you get an in-depth question on it, it's going to be NET or GATE, nobody else. Okay, all right. Chalo, theek hai. Now, why am I talking about research when I'm talking about human development? Because we have not, I don't think we've discussed this earlier before. This is the kind of research which is used in human development. ठीक है? कौन सी research? ये research development में ज्यादातर होती है, cross sectional and longitudinal. Are we all aware what it means, longitudinal research and cross-sectional research? Have you ever heard of it before? या हमें नहीं पता ये क्या होता है? Then I will explain. If you already know what it means, then I will not explain. Is there anybody who doesn't know? Okay. Longitudinal research basically means when we want to study the whole group. Yes, when we want to study one group which is of a similar age criteria for a long period of time. आप सोचो एक group of kids को आपने लिया. Okay, you took a cohort. A group of kids who were born in 1998. Most of you are born in 98 and 99. So for those of you, चलो ये सोचो ये एक cohort है. इसको हमने लिया and इसको हमने 2017 में भी study किया, 2037 में भी study किया और 2057 में भी study किया. Okay, all right. ठीक है? Okay, Prachi, then wonderful. Cross-sectional is simply that here, instead of taking one age group, I take 3 different age groups and I compare them and I study them only once. ठीक है? अब ये क्या कर रहे हैं हम? 20-year-old participants, 40-year-old participants and 60-year-old participants को सिर्फ हम 2017 में study करेंगे. Here it is depicted really nicely, so I have attached. Chalo guys, with that, let's get started. Now, developmental psychology, does it study a person from when they are born to the moment that they die? क्या ऐसा है? Do we study human beings from the moment they are born and then to the moment that they die? Or is that incorrect? From when to when do we study people? Humans को हम किस phase में study करते हैं? Very, very good. Very, very good. बिल्कुल conception से लेके right when the baby is conceived and right till that baby grows up to be an adult and right till they die, we study them. Very, very good. Let's move to two. That's quite a cool way of saying it. All right. Oh, very, very well done. ठीक है, ये तो पता है आपको. So we're not going to sit and define developmental psychology for the rest of the class. It starts off our study or our interest in the baby or in the infant or in the zygote basically starts off at the germinal period. The phase of conception, the first 2 weeks are known as the germinal period. यहाँ पे क्या होता है? The egg cell or the sperm and the ovum basically are, implanted at the uterine wall and then they basically, it becomes the zygote. 2 haploid cells होती हैं जो combine करती हैं और ये diploid zygote बनता है. Diploid is a cell which is basically 2 chromosomes are present and haploid cell basically a single chromosome is present. Okay, or a single set of chromosomes is present, not a single chromosome. 23 chromosomes are present. So a single set of chromosomes is present. Okay, all right, ठीक है. Then what happens? This turns into the blastocyst. And it undergoes a rapid division, cell division. Now the cell division, is it going to be mitotic or meiotic? Rapid cell division, basically replication. Very, very good. It is going to be mitotic cell division. Mitosis hoga yahan pe. Very, very good. Where the cell is basically, creating multiple replicas of one another. Blastocyst is what we call the mature zygote. Mature zygote को हम blastocyst बोलते हैं और यहाँ पे सबसे important phase germinal period में है कि यहाँ पे cell division काफी होता है और cell division किस किस्म का होता है? Mitosis. Okay? Meiosis is only required before sexual reproduction. All right? तो आप वैसे याद रख सकते हैं. चलो ठीक है. After this, we have the embryonic stage. What do we have after this? We have the embryonic stage. Now, in the embryonic stage, the zygote grows rapidly once it is implanted. What happens over here in the embryonic stage? This is from 2 to 8 weeks. अब ये तो first 2 weeks था ना? 1 to 2 weeks या 0 to 2 weeks. This is from 2 to 8 weeks. Which one? The embryonic stage. What happens over here is organ systems are differentiated and organs start develop. ठीक है? यहाँ पे होता क्या है? Organ systems जो होते हैं हमारे, like the cardiovascular system, like the endocrine system, like this and that system, those start developing and later the organs also start developing. All right. Small, the baby is a very, very small size. Then after that, here we need to understand that at the embryonic stage, the embryo or the baby is actually really vulnerable. Vulnerable क्या होता है? यहाँ पे baby जो है develop जो हो रहा है काफी कमजोर होता है, and if there are any external substances which are harmful known as teratogens, they will cause great damage to the fetus later. Okay, in this way, that is why you will see women are prohibited from flying in the first trimester. No medicine at all in the first trimester, not even a headache medicine. Yeah, pregnant women I'm talking about, not women in general. Okay, yes, absolutely. That is because the baby is really, the developing embryo which is going to develop into the fetus is really, really vulnerable and weak over here and needs to be protected from any kind of infection and any kind of even medicine antibiotic. All right. Then finally, after 8 weeks, we move on to the fetal stage. And the fetal stage is where rapid development now takes place. जो organ systems या organs differentiate हो गए हैं, अब ये अच्छे से develop होते हैं, ठीक है? The brain rapidly develops, even though when the child is born also, it's not like all senses are perfectly developed. Can the child sense color right after being born? Neonate जिसको कहते हैं, newborn baby. Can they sense, differentiate red, blue, yellow, orange and all that? No, they can only see hues of blue, just like a cat when they are born. After 3-4 months, the brain development continues right till 15. Even beyond that, 15, 16, the brain development, prefrontal cortex keeps developing. So it's not as though when we get the baby, it's like a finished 100% product or whatever. It's just that most of the development has taken place. Survival skills are there, reflexes are there, some innate capabilities are there. All right. So are we clear with the sequence of these? 8 weeks to birth. Basically, आपका fetal stage चलेगा. So we have 0 to 2 weeks germinal period. After that, we have the embryonic period. And after that, we have the fetal stage. Okay, fine. Now, what gifts is the child born with? ऐसे कैसे skills या capabilities होते हैं जो बच्चा सीख के आता है? Is already born. The first one is the rooting reflex. What is the rooting reflex? This is again survival skill. तो ये जो होते हैं ये 6 months तक चले जाते हैं. The child shows them right when it's born or 1 month, 2 months after they're born, but they go away after 6 months. Okay? All right? Most of these go away. That is what is supposed to happen in normal development. If you see a 20-year-old still showing moro reflex, then there is something really wrong. Okay? Rooting reflex is basically meant for the child to understand that somebody is trying to feed them. बच्चे को अगर आपने देखा हो जो 2 months 3 months का बेबी होता है उसको वो खुद खाना मांगता है and all that, or they need to be fed by the parent. At the most they cry. Can they communicate very well? No, they can't communicate. A lot of times all they can do is probably cry. Absolutely, they have to be carefully fed by the parents. Okay, they have to be repeatedly fed by the parents. So here, whenever it's a reflex, whenever you touch the baby's face, they turn their face and they start sucking. Okay, all right. That is the rooting reflex. That means ये feeding behavior initiate करता है. All right. Okay. All right. Now then we have the gripping reflex. This is very, very adorable. If you put a finger in, the child's hand is like this. If you put a finger, they will automatically hold it. Even if the child isn't close to you. हाँ, ये automatic reflex होता है. Like this. Okay. All right. ठीक है. Toe curling reflex. This is also known as the Babinski reflex. Babinski reflex. And the hold is strong. Yes, absolutely. It's so adorable. And when I think of babies, it's just, oh my God, so cute. All right. Okay. So stroking the inner or the outer of the sole. So what happens in Babinski reflex is if you stroke the sole of the foot like this, the foot sort of opens up. The fingers of the foot open up. Here, toes. जो होते हैं, they open up. ठीक है. All right. So like this. Basically, why you want to trouble the poor baby? It's like you're tickling. Now, Moro reflex is basically what? Moro reflex is another survival reflex. You know how monkeys, have you ever seen a monkey sleep on a tree? Have you ever? अभी कोई कहेगा monkey मेरी book चुरा के गया and all of that. मुझे बस बोलो, have you seen it on a tree or not? Palmer is, I think, the same as gripping. Yes. Yes, Palmer reflex. Yeah. So, in the night, they sometimes fling their arms open and then they hug back. Okay. So basically it's like, oh my God, I'm falling, so I should hold on to the tree. Okay, or I should hold on to the caregiver. This is something that babies of monkeys actually do. And this is something that human babies also do. So जब sudden noise या moment रात में उनको, sudden noise या movement देखते हैं वो रात में, okay, they get startled and therefore they do this. Fling the arms open and then hug themselves again to feel safe. All right, okay, ठीक है. Now, gallant reflex is basically the spine is stroked. आप सोचो कि बेबी को ऐसे रखा है. Okay, बेबी को ऐसे रखा है and the spine is being stroked. So child will basically lift its head like this. Okay, understanding? I hope my bad drawing is helping you understand properly. Child will basically raise hand from whenever they're being stroked. These reflexes are important and these reflexes show that child has sensory function in all of the body. ठीक है? इससे हमें इतना कंफर्म होता है कि बच्चे को सेंसरी फंक्शन मतलब उनकी सारी बॉडी फंक्शन कर रही है, वो सेंस कर पाते हैं and they are able to basically respond to whatever we tell stimuli. ठीक है? These are some basic reflexes. And there are other reflexes also, stepping reflex and stepping reflex is also there, where you basically put the child's foot on your foot and you pretend like they are walking. There the child holds. All right. Now, what is the idea of all of the development theories? Okay. Ma'am, Moro reflex can also be seen in kids with cerebral palsy. Are you asking or are you telling? Blinking also develops very early. Now, blinking is a reflex that does not go. Does not go. I'm not sure, Sakshi. You'll have to check. There may be some reflexes which are not found in some disorders. You'll have to check. All right. Okay. ठीक है. Now, continuous versus discontinuous development. All of the theories that we are going to discuss will all be categorized into either theories of continuous development or discontinuous development. ठीक है? तो ये बहुत important है कि हम समझें दोनों में से क्या हो रहा है. Now, continuous development means कि continuous development हो रहा है, as in there is no stoppage at all. And development is happening every single day. New learning is happening every single day. It's not age related. It is not age controlled. And we are basically growing every single day. Can you think of one theory which talks about the irrelevance? Yeah, child's age is not important, but what is only important is that there is somebody to teach the child and there is somebody to interact with the child. Is there any such theory which you have heard about? Very, very good. Vygotsky's theory. Next time somebody says Vygotsky, please correct them. Yeah. Why am I writing the incorrect spelling here? Let me check. Thank you. Okay. Vygotsky. Okay, he was a Russian. Chalo, ठीक है, fine. Now, continuous development में, if you look at Lev Vygotsky's theory, he says how the zone of proximal development is basically what determines whether the child will learn and whether they will grow, and who is there to teach them, है ना? He never talks about कि इस age पे ऐसा होता है, फिर उस age पे वैसा होता है, or that when child, learns to walk, then only they can learn ABC, or when they learn to speak, only then they can learn so and so. He never says anything like that. Does he ever propose stages? Does he propose stages of cognitive development? I'm not talking about concept formation. Does he propose stages of cognitive development? No, he doesn't. There are no stages. Very, very good. There are no stages. Now, when you talk about discontinuous development and how to understand theories which propose discontinuous development, अगर आपको ये समझना है कि डिसकंटिन्यूअस डेवलपमेंट आप कौन कौन सी थ्योरी में देख सकते हो, तो आप सिंपली कोई भी थ्योरी लो और देखो कि इसके स्टेजेस हैं या नहीं. ओके, simply take a theory and see whether development is broken down into stages. So when I talk about Piaget's cognitive development, can I say it is discontinuous? Okay, all right. I can very, very clearly say that it's discontinuous because unless you complete the sensory motor stage, you cannot get to the pre-operational stage. Unless you complete the pre-operational stage, you cannot get to the concrete operational stage. Unless you complete the concrete operational stage, you cannot get to the formal operational stage. And here qualitative changes are age related. So only when we are at a certain stage in our life, only then development is possible. Can I say the same thing about Erickson's theory as well? Kohlberg's theory as well? Age-related development. Very, very good. Even Freud, psychosexual theory of development. Very, very good, guys. Very, very good. तो ये आपको हमेशा याद रखना है. This is asked across masters entrances also. This is asked in NET also. This is asked in GATE also. This is asked in all of the exams that you're going to appear. Okay. Okay. Fine. Great. Let's go. Chalo. The first theory we will talk about will be Piaget's theory. Now, but ma'am, Kohlberg talks about age. Did you attend the class which I recently took on YouTube? Topics to start your preparation with. I explained Kohlberg's theory. It is not always said that, at a certain age you'll have a certain morality, but it is age related because it's based on Piaget's theory, which is age related. And there are stages. That means development is discontinuous. That means only when you are at a so and so stage can you grow to become another stage. That means it is discontinuous, broken apart. Development has been broken down into stages. That will be, बस आप वो याद रखो कि जहां पे भी stages हैं, you will see that development is discontinuous. Now we'll start off with Piaget's theory. If anybody says Piaget or if anybody says Piglet or anything like that, please correct them. Please correct them for the sake, for the honor of all of psychology. Please don't tolerate such things. But okay. Ma'am, Kohlberg's theory is based on Piaget. Piaget has also given a morality theory. उसपे based है Kohlberg की morality theory. ठीक है? I will teach you in the main course. I'll teach you. चलो ठीक है. हाँ, कटल को तो हमारे बच्चे भी कैटल बोलते हैं. शर्म करो यार. कहाँ कटल, कहाँ कैटल, क्या क्या बोल रहे हो आप? Okay, all right. Never mind. Never mind. चलो. Chalo. People don't pay attention to spellings. They don't understand the, delicateness or what can go wrong if you mess up spellings a little bit. Cattle and cattle. बस E कहाँ रखा है उसकी difference है. Anyway, small change but huge difference in meaning. Now here, let's talk about cognitive development. So according to Piaget, we go through stages. My professor used to say Piaget. Google pronunciation भी देता है. All you have to do is ask. Pronunciation भी देता है. You just have to type and you have to check. Especially when somebody says Cicerelli, it's just, I'm like, why did you do that? And everybody says it. Why? All you have to do is check. It's an Italian name. Why would it sound like that? Never mind. यूंग को तो जंग ही बोलते हैं. यूंग को या तो decent people will call him young. other people will just say young and be like, okay, fine. Okay, fine. Chalo, theek hai. Ho gaya, enough. People say young also. Even after I have explained in class and I call him young, people in my class will also say young. किससे सीखा? मैंने तो नहीं सीखा है. चलो कोई बात नहीं. Anyway, so here cognitive development can be broken down into 4 stages. Okay? Alright? ठीक है. First stage is all about sensory motor development. What is it about? It is about sensory motor. मतलब eye hand coordination develop होती है. So you will have something called, I will explain to you what is most important in each stage and then we will move on. And we will then move on. Okay, all right, fine. One of our teachers pronounced John. Chalo, no problem. Let's try to understand. So sensory motor stage में क्या होता है? There are something known as circular reactions. ठीक है? सर्कुलर रिएक्शंस का एक्चुअली मतलब है छोटा सा जो बेबी होता है ये कोई भी हरकत बार बार करता है जब तक ये टायर्ड ना हो जाए. आपने देखा है small baby will repeat an action till they get tired of it. Okay, let's say if child is, because they are very curious about their abilities and they are so surprised about the power of their hand and their leg and anything which they are able to try out. Okay, they want to try till they get exhausted. So this small little baby till around 2 years of age, pehle 6 months mein especially, everything will be explored through the mouth, right? Because that is one power that the everything is picked up from the ground and put in the mouth. That is your primary circular reaction. Secondary circular reactions are when things can be moved and pushed. अब लगता है कि I can manipulate objects, मुझे तो objects भी, I can move them, I can push them and things like that. It's not purposeful. Then there are tertiary circular reactions where finally the child understands before 2 years of age. The child understands that, look, if I want मुझे cookies खाने हैं, I should try to open the box. I want toy, I should go run to my toy and I should bring. Okay, so it is purposeful behavior, problem solving behavior we say. Okay, so we will note down here tertiary reactions में क्या होता है? Can I say problem solving behavior? I can say problem solving behavior. One primary achievement that we have in this phase is object permanence. हमारी सबसे बड़ी achievement इस phase में होती है object permanence. When we are able to understand that things still exist after they are not placed in front of us. मतलब आप देखेंगे around till 8 months, around till 8 months or 9 months or sometimes 11 months also. If the parent or a toy is taken away from the child, they cry a little, but then after 2-3 minutes or 1 hour, they don't even remember that exists. ठीक है? मतलब उनके सामने से अगर आप कोई चीज लेके जाते हो, जो you hide it or something, तो वो 1-2 minutes के लिए थोड़ा फस करेंगे, उसके बाद वो भूल जाएंगे. हाँ जी, absolutely. But object permanence means that they have developed the mental representation concept. थोड़ा सा उन्होंने mental representation सीख लिया है. So that they understand कि चीजें exist करती हैं even after they are not in front of them. Okay, all right, fine. Now after that we move on to and this stage lasts for the first 2 years. ये पहले 2 साल में ये stage होती. ठीक है? Okay, fine. इसके बाद 2 to 7 years, what stage do we have next? 2 to 7 years, what stage do we have? We have the pre-operational stage. Yes, in tertiary reaction stage, permanence is achieved. Very, very good. Very, very good. Chalo, ठीक है. In the pre-operational stage, is the child able to perform any operations? We are calling it the pre-operational stage. तो यहाँ पे conservation task हम नहीं कर पाएंगे. A lot of mathematical operations we will not be able to do. A lot of reversibility we will not be able to show. और यहाँ पे according to Piaget, we are not able to have empathy of about other people either. We think in a very, very egocentric manner. है ना? Abstract thinking तो दूर की बात है. यहाँ हम क्या? यहाँ एक principle होता है, उसको हम कहते हैं centration. We believe that we are the center of the earth. Unfortunately, some people grow up also and still believe they are the center of the earth. But okay, बच्चों में ठीक है. 2 to 7 years of age is completely fine. is completely fine. Now here what happens in centration? Yeah, what happens in centration is the child thinks that the sun sleeps at night because I sleep at night. The moon goes to sleep at night because I go to sleep at night. The sun is following me. Yeah. Piaget asked his youngest child also, where do you think the sun goes the whole day? And the child, without any hesitation, said, of course, follows me around all day. What else is it supposed to do? Which is very adorable if a little child says it. तो सेंट्रेशन से आता है आपका ईगोसेंट्रिज्म. दिस अफेक्ट्स द वे द चाइल्ड थिंक्स. ईगोसेंट्रिज्म स्टडी करने के लिए 3 माउंटेन टास्क वाज आल्सो डन, जहां पे एक साइड पे डॉल रखी थी, दूसरी साइड पे बच्ची को रखा, एंड द चाइल्ड वाज आस्क्ड कि अब बोलो डॉल क्या देख रही है. द चाइल्ड बेसिकली नैरेटेड व्हाट शी वाज सीइंग. What doll could see was something else altogether. Okay, it had nothing to do. So egocentrism is basically an application or a byproduct of the centration which occurs in this stage. Now, what else we will call this? 3 mountain task, because आपको पूछते हैं. 3 mountain task was used to study what? उसके बाद what we see also is animism, giving life to non-living objects. Okay, this child may talk to pillows, saying, I'm teaching you, you better behave yourself and all that. This child may talk to the sun and the moon and the stars, saying, where have you gone? Come back, and this and that. Yeah, talking to dolls and toys and all of that is also animism. They actually think that non-living entities have a life. ठीक है? Okay, all right. Modern, poet. Yeah. It's basically, never mind. Oh, then we also have something known as symbolic thinking here. ठीक है? यहाँ पे actual develop क्या होता है? यहाँ पे symbolic thinking develop होती है. That means that mental representation has been completed और बच्चे को पता है that if I'm looking at a car picture book में अगर मैं देख रहा हूँ apple, या मैं देख रही हूँ apple या ball या कुछ, this child knows that this object actually exists in the world. This is known as symbolic thinking. And this is when for the first time the child uses a lot of verbal language use की जाती है to explain things. This is when the child is developing their vocabulary as well. यहाँ पे तो vocabulary अच्छे से develop हो रही है ना. आप देखेंगे a child at 4 to 5 years will speak fluent sentences किसी भी language में. They will speak fluent sentences. So here symbolic thinking, that means a lot of language is used in thinking. Symbols and so on, which we think represent real world objects. Okay, all right, ठीक है. Now here according to Piaget, we are not supposed to show any empathy or reflexivity. Reflexivity in thinking नहीं है क्योंकि हम सिर्फ अपने point of view से सोच पाते हैं. आप देखेंगे stage number 3 में, this is 7 to 11 years, ठीक है? And this is the concrete operational stage. कौन सी stage है ये? Concrete operational. That means I am able to perform some operations. I'm able to perform some operations like mathematical tables and this and that, basic arithmetic. हाँ जी, तो maths थोड़ी आती है यहाँ पे. And one huge achievement here is conservation tasks. Okay, conservation tasks which come as a result of development of reflexive thinking. Which come as a result of रिफ्लेक्सिव थिंकिंग. आपने कभी देखा होगा बुक में कि बीकर में आप छोटे बीकर में पानी डालो, बड़े बीकर में पानी डालो, पानी की क्वांटिटी सेम है. The volume of the water which is transferred from a smaller beaker to a larger beaker, from a larger beaker to a smaller beaker does not change, right? Because we are just changing the vessel, and we understand here, or the child understands that's the same amount of water which is being transferred from one vessel to another. And but यहाँ पे abstract thinking नहीं है. Okay, there is no possibility of the child being able to think abstractly. अब ये abstract reasoning particularly, how do we define it? Let's try to understand. So, have you all heard about deductive reasoning? क्या आपने कभी deductive reasoning के बारे में सुना है? That is a kind of abstract reasoning as well. So, I will give you an example. I will say, aeroplanes can fly. My dog is an aeroplane. Now, if I ask you the answer, okay, all right, 1 minute, yes. Aeroplanes can fly, my dog is an aeroplane. Will you tell me what nonsense are you talking, or will you tell me my dog can fly? Very, very good. The conclusion here is going to be, this is deductive syllogism. Okay. Why am I? Conclusion is going to be, my dog can fly. If you say this to a concrete operational child, they will say you're talking nonsense. Don't talk like this. This is abstract reasoning, and this is something only a formal operational child will be able to do. Very good for noticing. It is general to specific. Yes, absolutely. Okay. By reflexive thinking, we mean reversibility is nothing but reflexive thinking. Na? Reversibility simply means that the quantity of an object remains the same no matter what the form is. So have you ever done this experiment? We have done it on children. मैंने खुद किया है. आप उनको डो बॉल दो. डो, you know, right? Play डो. आप उनको दो. आप उनको अलग-अलग shapes में ये दो. A child in a concrete operational stage will be able to tell you कि दोनों का mass same है. That both balls of dough, whether one appears in a different shape. एक आप, given a, what do I say, a cylindrical shape, another one given a round shape. This child will be able to tell you that they are both the same quantity. Okay, that is reflexive or reversibility in thinking. That means matter is the same. If the shape is changed, that doesn't mean the quantity is changed. Okay, all right. Therefore, they're able to perform mathematical operations. Can I say multiplication and division require reversibility of thought? आप डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते या मल्टीप्लाई नहीं कर सकते जब तक आपको डिवीजन ना आता हो, एंड आप डिवीजन नहीं कर सकते जब तक आपको मल्टीप्लिकेशन ना आता हो. like that there is reversibility in thinking over there. As in, if I divide 32 by 8 and I get 4, then do I also know 4 into 8 is 32? This is reversibility, na? How to get the whole number again? Correct, absolutely. Absolutely. Understanding? हाँ जी, ठीक है. Absolutely. Clear? चलो ठीक है. Now what will we talk about? Formal operational में थोड़ा सा ही है, वही abstract thought develop होता है. The pendulum problem which children were able to solve on their own. From 11 onwards, the child can be considered to be thinking like a scientist. Yes, absolutely. So formal operational stage में abstract thinking develop होती है. Child is able to do proper logical reasoning and all of that. Just like an adult thinks, they are also able to think. Absolutely. Hypothetico-deductive reasoning is possible here. Very good. I'll write it down here. Hypothetico-deductive reasoning. इसका मतलब है they are able to create hypotheses also and they are able to verify them all. This can be understood as abstract thinking. Suppose वाली चीजें समझ आती हैं फॉर्मल में मैम. हाँ जी, आ जाएं. Hypothetical situations, they'll be able to find their way out. They need to see two people and compare, right? Yes, concrete operational stage, yes. Ma'am, what example can be understood for centration? Like a child with a particular surname thinks that others will also have the same surname. Not necessarily, but centration means that I think the world centers around me. No, not like that. Basically, see, I told you that they think that the sun follows them, as in I am the center of the earth. Everybody is talking about me. Everybody is looking at me. And this is very normal at this age. Okay, by centration, you can simply remember I am the center of the earth. A little self-obsession kind of a thing. It's not that everybody is me. Okay, all right. Clear here? जो भी हो रहा है सब मेरे लिए हो रहा है. हाँ, absolutely. I own the world. You will see people will grow up and also say such things. But okay, it's quite normal from 2 to 7 years of age. If we are good to go here, we'll move on. I hope you guys have understood. This is the essence of the theory. अगर आप ये सब remember करेंगे तो you will be able to solve most questions. Example of hypothetical deductive reasoning. Do you know that they did a pendulum task? क्या आपको पता है कि Piaget ने बच्चों को pendulum task दिया था? And actually, they were not told कि क्यों pendulum, हाँ move जो amplitude जो है pendulum सबसे ज्यादा कैसे move करेगा, they were not told. All of them were able to form their own hypothesis and understand that it is the length of the pendulum which is the only thing that matters. So that is a prime example of hypothetical deductive reasoning. और ये जो हमने argument बनाई है, बच्चा भी खुद बना सकता है. Okay, we can test out. We can basically make hypotheses that we can test out. Let us say this child may think all boys are smart. Then they will go check 5 boys whether they are smart or not. If this person or this child doesn't find 5 boys to be, rude or smart or girls or whatever, then they'll come back and say hypothesis disproved. That is hypothetical deductive reasoning. You form a hypothesis, you test it, and then you either accept it or you reject it. Simple day-to-day life things. Okay. All right. Chalo. ठीक है. Fine. Now we talk about Vygotsky's sociocultural theory. Here in Vygotsky's sociocultural theory, he talks about a zone of proximal development. Proximity, मतलब जब हम दूसरों के साथ आसपास रहते हैं, when we are around other more knowledgeable people, we are bound to grow. Regardless of our age, it is the kind of social support which determines whether or not we will grow. ठीक है? And that is our zone of proximal development, which is ever changing, ever growing, and so on. समझ रहे हैं आप? ये zone of proximal development कोई particular stage नहीं है जो हमें reach करनी है. All right. Now, unfortunately for Vygotsky, his theories are very, very celebrated, but he passed away before he could actually translate them or publish them. His theory can be seen as incomplete. ठीक है? Incomplete है because he passed away, I think due to tuberculosis. I'm not sure. Please check. I don't want to misquote. At around 37 or 40, he did not live beyond that. बाकी के theories अगर आप देखेंगे 90s में also they have given theories. Anyway, so his approach was completely cultural, okay, and about interpersonal interaction, and that is how the individual develops. According to Vygotsky, all development takes place first on the social plane. All development first occurs on the social plane. Okay, all right, wonderful. We become ourselves wonderful through other people. So what actually happens over here? Let's take a practical example. इसके बाद देखते हैं कि ये zone of proximal development कैसे increase होता है. What does it actually? How does it help us? So let us say I got 20 out of 40 in my maths test. ठीक है? आप सोचो कि 20 out of 40 मुझे आए math test. Now, can I say that this is what I can do on my own? मैंने किसी से help नहीं ली. I did not take help from anybody. I just took the book and I studied, and this is all I understood, and therefore I was only able to do so much. Okay, all right, wonderful. Now, when we talk about, okay, fine. Now, what if somebody who has already studied what I'm studying today, whether it's a classmate, whether it is an older person, whether it's my teacher, whether it's my parent, let us parent sits down and explains to me, my parent who has a master's in maths. आप सोचो कि पेरेंट को मैथ्स में मास्टर्स डिग्री है, तो वो आके समझा रहे हैं ये 10th ग्रेड का मैथ है. सोचो. So after studying with the parent for 2 days, in the upcoming exam, the child got 32 out of 40. Okay, all right. बच्चे को कितना स्कोर आया 2 दिन पेरेंट के साथ पढ़ के? 32. Was this 32 achievable on his own? क्या बच्चा खुद से 32 लेके आता? Was the child going to score 32 on their own? No, they were not going to score 32 on their own. Then they wouldn't be getting 20. So here 32 minus 20. This 12 is actually what they gained in the zone of proximal development. Proximal development का मतलब ही है कि जब आप दूसरों के साथ proximity रखते हो, when you are near other people socially, who you can learn from, more knowledgeable others, MKOs. This is basically when you will grow. That is what the zone of proximal development is. Okay, okay, all right. So the child is now getting 32. Now, will this child always get 32 out of 40, or do you think there is still scope for improvement? And there are things which we at the moment cannot do. ये present में चीजें ऐसी भी हैं जो हम नहीं कर सकते हैं. सोचो कि ये जो 8 marks miss हो गए, the 8 marks that this child missed, basically there were questions that they did not understand. But can I say that this child is capable of growing more and learning more, and therefore that the zone of proximal development is ever increasing? Next time I can aim for this, and next time this becomes my ZPD, and what I can't do is something else altogether. ठीक है, तो ऐसे ग्रो होता जाएगा slowly, slowly, slowly. The more people I interact with who are knowledgeable here, the more I will learn over here. ठीक है, all right. And when we give support here, we are supposed to scaffold later. As in, are we supposed to teach children to always come to us every time they have a problem? आप सोचो कि आप किसी को साइकिल या बाइक राइड करना सिखा रहे हैं, then must you always go to them and be like, नहीं नहीं मैं ही, मेरे साथ ही चलो, आप अकेले मत जाओ. No, scaffolding given by Brunner actually in support of Vygotsky's theory, often credited to Vygotsky, doesn't matter. अगर आपको देखते हैं which of the following was given by Vygotsky, it's fine, it's not incorrect also. So scaffolding is a concept which helps us understand that we need to let go of the support slowly. ठीक है, हम immediately नहीं, abruptly नहीं, but slowly support को withdraw करते हैं. Slowly withdraw support. Yes. Okay. All right. Dheere dheere, like you'll see in ads also. Now, something which we see here, we understand that this is a continuous theory of development. Hanji, this is a continuous theory of development. This is not discontinuous. But can I say, depending on our first unit, जो हमने philosophers के बारे में पढ़ा है, both of them are constructionists. Vygotsky and Piaget are both constructionists. Then what kind of constructionism? I've given you example also. Would you call Piaget? What kind of constructionist would you call Piaget? किस किस्म के constructionist हैं? हम knowledge construct करते हैं. कैसे construct करते हैं? Very, very good. This is known as cognitive construction. या cognitive constructivism. Same thing. Very, very good. And same thing, if I want to apply to Vygotsky constructionism, किस किस्म का होगा इनका? Very, very good. Social constructionism. Or social constructivism. That is the difference. Okay. Vygotsky lays heavy emphasis on society and language as well, whereas Piaget doesn't put a lot of emphasis on language and the role of language in thinking. Okay, if we are done here, we will move on to Erikson's theory. We'll do a brief summary of Erikson's theory and then we. If there are any doubts, you may ask. Okay, all right. चलो ठीक है. Correct, absolutely. Now, one thing we really need to understand here, although we did not discuss Freud's theory, can we quick revise Freud's theory? Okay, if you just name them, that will be great. So first we have the, I will wait for all of you to name. Chalo. Very, very good. Oral stage. Okay, all right. Then we have the anal stage. Then we have the phallic stage. And then we have latency. And then what else do we have? Then we have the genital stage, healthy adult development. Genital stage. Chalo, wonderful. Okay, all right, fine, great. Now that we have all of this, we will compare it to Erikson's theory. Now we are all aware of the, trust versus mistrust, the conflicts that are present in each stage, but we may not be aware of the actual theory which Erikson has proposed. So Erikson की theory जो है वो completely Freud की theory पे based है, guys. It's just that he extends it beyond. I mean, by completely, I mean, of course, there are new additions as well. But until here, it is based on Freud's theory, heavy inspiration, just that the sexual emphasis has been removed. Therefore, the Erikson calls his theory psychosocial theory and not psychosexual theory. Yes, yes, absolutely, absolutely. ठीक है, तो ओवर एम्फोसिस नहीं है हाँ सेक्सुअल डेवलपमेंट, ठीक है. तो according to Erickson, what are the stages called? If you can name them for me, that will be great. If you can't name them, I will name them for you. Erickson's theory. Oral sensory. Then anal stage is also known as what? No trust and mistrust are the conflicts. That's the whole point. Chaliye. Anal stage is also known as anal muscular. Phallic stage is also known as locomotor genital. Very, very good. Latency is latency only. This is adolescence, and after adolescence, it continues into adulthood. Okay, continues into adulthood. Okay, all right, guys. If you are not aware of this, these are the stages. Trust versus mistrust is just the conflict. Okay, chalo. Crisis है वो crisis overcome करना है. Ma'am, difficult to remember sequentially. If you revise it a few times, it'll get easy for you. It takes time, but you will be able to remember. Chalo, ठीक है. Wonderful. Now here what we need to understand is the first year of life we face, or let me summarize the whole theory for you. According to Erickson, we develop, in a deterministic fashion. मतलब एक स्टेज के बाद दूसरी स्टेज आती है और अगर एक स्टेज हमने अच्छे से क्लियर कर लिया तो दूसरा स्टेज लाइफ का अच्छा रहेगा. Okay, all right. So this is a deterministic approach where we say that if we are successful in overcoming crises, according to him, at every stage in our life there is a certain difficulty or a certain crisis, right? Like trust versus mistrust is actually a crisis or a challenge which we face at a particular stage. Only when we overcome this challenge will we healthily develop into adults one day. Okay, if we actually fail in all of the first 4 or 5 stages, do you think development beyond that will be healthy? क्या आपको लगता है कि इसके बाद healthy development होगी? नहीं. We need to overcome each and every challenge successfully, or at least most of our challenges we need to overcome successfully. Only then we'll be successful in our adulthood and then our old age. So here you see the first conflict in the oral stage we face is the basic trust versus mistrust. If we actually clear the stage, or if we are able to form a healthy relationship with our parent or our caregiver, अगर हम parent या caregiver के साथ healthy relationship बना पाते हैं, तो फिर क्या होता है, द वर्च्यू, ओके, द स्ट्रेंथ ऑफ होप इमर्जेस. मतलब हमें दुनिया पे भरोसा आने लगता है. ओके, we start trusting the world, and therefore we have hope for the future, that I will meet good people, there will be people I can trust, and I can trust myself as well, I am dependable. Understanding? Okay, that's your virtue of hope. And at each stage the resolution of each crisis will lead to the development of a virtue. अगर आप यहाँ पे देखेंगे, यहाँ पे जब भी आप एक क्राइसिस हैंडल करते हो या चैलेंज को ओवरकम करते हो, तो आप एक वर्च्यू डेवलप करते हो. यू लर्न समथिंग एंड यू डेवलप. ऑल now the second stage, which is nothing but, can I say in fancy, this is nothing but the oral stage, oral sensory. Yeah, this is the anal stage. हाँ जी, early childhood or anal stage, we basically learn to differentiate, or we learn to overcome the challenge of autonomy versus shame and guilt. नहीं, autonomy versus shame and doubt. Autonomy versus shame and doubt. Now this is particularly the toilet training age. क्या हम ऐसा कह सकते हैं कि यहाँ पे बच्चे को potty training, toilet training करा रहे हैं? Nothing shameful about it. Very, very natural. That is exactly what this stage is related to. अगर बच्चा सीख जाता है, if the child is able to go to the washroom on their own, develop some confidence, is not belittled या attacked by the parent, parents ज़्यादा scold नहीं करते हैं, support करते हैं, training actually ट्रेनिंग एक्चुअली देते हैं बच्चे को, अच्छे से ट्रेनिंग देते हैं, they're strict also, that's okay. If the child actually learns to go to the washroom on their own without any difficulties, they develop a sense of autonomy. मतलब मेरे पास freedom है. Look, I can go to the washroom on my own. How great is that? I don't need anybody to take me, right? So that is a first sense of accomplishment you feel, right? We have all felt it in our life. But if a child is constantly bedwetting, not trained, not toilet trained by the parents, toilet training is a very difficult job. For those of you who have kids, you know, okay, easy काम नहीं है. So some children may not receive good support or any kind of support from the parents. They may often be criticized कि देखो मैंने तो सिखाया था तुमको ही नहीं आता क्या बेशरम हो you're being in front of other people. Look, other kids have grown up but you're still using diaper. काफी parents ऐसे भी बोलते हैं even when they don't mean to hurt. Then this develops a sense of shame in this child, and this is where actually the feelings of inferiority start. Shame develop होती है और ऐसा लगता है कि देखो बाकी कर रहे हैं मुझे नहीं आता है, तो inferiority जो है उसका sense यहीं पे start होता है develop करना. So here, if we are actually able to resolve our challenge, then we develop the virtue of will. I can do it, right? Willpower, I can do it. Okay, all right. उसके बाद प्ले एज या दिस इज द एज वेयर यू आर गोइंग टू अ प्री स्कूल. 3 से 6 साल तक आप क्या कर रहे हैं? नर्सरी, एलकेजी, यूकेजी, द नेवर एंडिंग किंडरगार्टन, है ना? प्री स्कूल जा रहे हैं आप. तो अगर आप प्री स्कूल जा रहे हैं, दिस इज ऑल्सो विच स्टेज? दिस इज द फैलिक स्टेज. So here we are trying to make friends, especially with the opposite gender or with the same gender, we are trying to make friends. Yeah. Okay. Who do you think will initiate conversation? Person who has developed autonomy and willpower in the previous stage, person who has developed hope and trust in the previous stage, a person or a child actually who has not developed any of these. आपको क्या लगता है कि यहाँ पे initiative लोगों से बात करने का, दूसरे बच्चों से friendship करने का कौन लेगा? Child who has already been successful here and here. Okay, all right, very, very good. Now here, the child who is unable, who is not confident, who is shy, who feels ashamed about themselves, do you think they will go and talk to other kids? Do you think they'll go and talk to other kids? They will not talk to other kids. They will feel guilty and they will basically sit in one place quietly. If somebody comes and talks to them, okay, they talk. Nobody talks to them, they don't talk. They don't end up having a lot of sex. Now here, taking initiative will mean that I have a sense of purpose. मुझे लगता है कि हाँ अब तो लाइफ में मीनिंग है, मुझे तो काफी सारे फ्रेंड्स बनाने चाहिए. I should talk nicely to my teacher also. I should go and show her my homework every day. I should show her my drawings every day. I should go talk to my friends also. I should chill and have lunch with them and all of that. So I develop a sense of purpose. Okay, all right, fine. Again, you will see huge influence of one stage on another stage. After this 6 to 12 years, can I say we are getting into 3rd, 4th, 5th grade? 12 साल की उम्र तक हम 7th क्लास में 7th, 8th क्लास में चले गए हैं ना? है ना? है ना? So here we are in sort of elementary school, but middle school. Okay? And this is when you're entering sort of higher secondary. So in middle school, suddenly we were singing rhymes and all, but now all of the rhymes are gone. And now it seems like, oh my God, so difficult maths and English and science and everything. So the rigor of the syllabus changes. ठीक है? Well known fact है, यहाँ पे जब आप middle school में आ जाते हैं, algebra introduce होता है, subject ज़्यादा introduce होते हैं, homework ज़्यादा मिलती है, strict हो जाता है सब कुछ. You have to start writing with a pen. Earlier with a pencil, you could simply erase 200 times. Now you can't even erase. Okay? All right. Please use pens that you can erase with. If you still struggle with writing, I'm sorry to go off topic. If you still struggle with writing, there is this friction pen that you can use and it completely erases. Never mind. Rather than, scribbling like 100 times. Yeah, ask me later. I'll tell you how to. Yeah. Okay, never mind. मैम कहाँ किसी भी स्टोर में आपको मिलेगा. ये क्या है? ये है, this is friction by Pilot, I think. Yeah, Pilot. आपको कहीं पे भी मिल जाएगा. Yeah, this tip can erase everything. It comes in all colors. That's what I use when I know something, might happen today, might not happen today. ये completely अच्छे से erase करता है. So rather than scribbling all over your notes, don't do that. That doesn't look nice. No need to use whitener also. Doesn't look nice. पहली बार सुना? चलो मैं picture share कर दूंगी. अभी आप यहाँ पे focus करो. Now here things are getting difficult. Can I say if I'm already feeling like I have a purpose in my life, मुझे already willpower है, I'm already trusting people, I'm already trusting myself as well. Then can I say I feel industrious? मुझे लगता है कि मैं competent हूँ, अगर दूसरे कर सकते हैं maths, मैं क्यों नहीं करूँ? I can also do if other people can do it, and if other people are capable, I am also very capable. Can I say that? In industry versus inferiority. Only when I feel industrious, useful, and competent, I will say this and I will develop the virtue of competence. But if I feel inferior, if I've always felt negative right from the time I was born, then how do I feel? I feel inferior. I don't, think other people can do. मैं तो नहीं कर सकता, मैं तो नहीं कर सकती. This child might think can do that because they are smart. I'm dumb, I can't do like that. Okay, all right. Then we move on to the next stage. In adolescence, what happens? Identity versus role confusion. What is identity? Forming actually a sense of loyalty, okay, to oneself and to the people you love. Can I say by 12 to 19 years, you found a lot of your friends who are still your friends? By 19 years of age, partners, friends, and stuff. You met people at least by 20. You met people who are still your friends, and you know you're going to be friends with these people for a very long time. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. So identity versus role confusion, okay, is the stage here. या तो हम एक identity form करते हैं where I know exactly who I am, what I want to be, what kind of people I want to hang out with, who I want to talk to, what kind of career I want to apply because I understand myself, because I think all of these good things about myself. हम ये सारी अच्छी चीजें अपने बारे में सोचते हैं, हमें कॉन्फिडेंस है, हम कंपिटेंट हैं, तो हम खुद को जानते हैं ना. We know ourselves, we understand ourselves, therefore we know what our values are. Okay, but what if we don't understand ourselves? What if we have received conditional love? What if we have been ridiculed? What if our parents reject us? What if we found no good friends? What if people just want to exploit us? What if people in college are just saying, do my homework and then you're my friend, smoke a little and then you're my friend, drink a little and then you're my friend? You will go try this, that, and everything, and you will end up very confused because you actually don't understand yourself. Okay, all right, this has happened to a lot of people, this happens. And here we fail to achieve fidelity. मैंने कहा आपको fidelity का मतलब है loyalty. So who are we loyal to here? We are loyal to our own identity and we are loyal to the people that we love because we know who we want to hang out with and people we don't want to hang out with. सब हमें पता है. Okay, all right. चलिए उसके बाद you have early adulthood. Early adulthood is basically the time where you're supposed to find love. Okay, all right. So according to Piaget, not according to Piaget, according to Erikson and his wife, who have actually proposed the theory together, him and Joan Erikson. So they clearly say that this is a very important stage of life जहाँ पे आपको intimacy develop करनी है. You need to find a partner who you would likely settle down with. Okay, so you are basically finding love, है ना? अगर आप you are able to find a partner who loves you, cares for you, you love them, you care for them, हो गया, you have developed the virtue of love. That's it. But some people may end up getting married to people they are forced to marry. Some people may not like anybody. They might feel cheated in relationships. So they tell their parents, okay, marry me to whoever, and don't feel any connection with the person they're married to. Some people may refuse to marry altogether. Some people may feel very lonely and isolated in the whole world. है ना? Not due to happiness. ये क्या कह रहे हैं कि यहाँ क्यों नहीं? Why are they not able to find a partner? Because they have not been successful in previous relationships. So will they develop the virtue of love as well? People who feel isolated? नहीं. या तो ये either they get married and basically they find partners who don't love them, who don't care about them and they don't love them either. ठीक है? या तो वैसा कुछ मिलता है या फिर they end up alone and lonely without a partner, without getting married and so on. उसके बाद we have generativity versus stagnation. Obviously, अगर आप previous stage में successful रहे हो, you have a family, you have children, you have people who love you around you, you will feel it is time for you to now care about your children. आप देखेंगे our parents would go out of their way to try to get us settled into a career, to see whether we are studying basic things. They'd ask you what do you want to do in life. चलो मेरा time हो गया, now it's your time to do things. They would send you on trips or once in a while they would take you out. The generativity is basically showing care towards the next generation. आप लोगों को mentor करेंगे, आप अपने बच्चों को basically guide करेंगे and so on. Okay, because you feel fulfilled in your own life, because you are growing, you want other people to grow as well. ठीक है? Okay. Then what is happening over here? You will develop the virtue of care. But what if you feel like you are not growing at all? अगर आपको लगे कि आपकी total growth नहीं हो रही है, you feel stuck in your job, where the midlife crisis happens. Feel stuck in your job, you feel stuck in your marriage. A lot of couples at this point in empty marriages will not even want to talk to one another. Must have seen this also. Couples who barely talk to each other. Older people generally. Don't even bother. If it is about the kids, they talk. If it is nothing about the kids, they don't talk. So that is basically, that is not going to lead to the virtue of care. Okay. But caring into overprotective. No, not like that. Not like that. We are not talking about overprotectiveness here. We are not saying ki your daddy's princess ab jo bhi karo karna hai. Not like that. We guide and say, what do you want to do for career? I'll help you understand. I will help you explore opportunities like that. Like that. Okay. Lastly, when we are really, really old, when we're in old adulthood, what do we experience? Either integrity or despair. Either we say, I have lived the life I wanted to live. I have lived the way I wanted to live. And now I'm okay with dying also. मेरी लाइफ कंप्लीट हो गई है मुझे जो करना था लाइफ में वो मैंने कर दिया है peace I can die. That is integrity, and this person will also have the virtue of wisdom. ठीक है ये wise होंगे because इनको life experiences ने काफी सिखाया है. But is every old person wise? It's not like that. It's not like that. A lot of old people also end up really, really bitter, in despair. Other people cheated me. I didn't do what I deserve. I didn't work hard. मुझे ये करना चाहिए था. मुझे वो करना चाहिए था. So they actually feel like they had a very unfulfilled life. I should not have put in so much. My children don't care about me. I should not have invested so much in them. I should have tried to be happy myself. Basically, regrets, regrets, regrets. Okay? All right? And this person does not want to die. What an irony. The one who is happy in life is okay with dying, and the one who is unhappy in life really doesn't want to die because they actually want to turn their life around and try to, change things. That there is Erickson's theory. If you have any doubts, please ask. Otherwise, we are good to go. Stagnation is feeling stuck. Stuck in life, stuck in job, stuck in marriage. Stagnation, something that doesn't move. All right. All right. Clear? Chalo, wonderful. Now we look at John Bowlby's theory of monotropy. Okay? Monotropy, theory of attachment, this is known as just the theory of attachment. This can be known as, we'll not talk about Harry Harlow's. वहां पे एक useful word है which is contact comfort. वो आपको समझ आ गया वो काफी. He separated the monkeys from their mothers and so on. Who? Not Bowlby, but Harry Harlow. And then he realized that contact comfort is more important than actual feeding. Okay, all right, fine. Now, John Bowlby said that it takes a while. It's not that the child is automatically born and starts calling out for the mother. क्या आपने कभी देखा है 2 month का baby, माँ के लिए call कर रहा है? Have you ever seen a 2 month, 1 month old baby calling out to the mother or the father? Doesn't happen. They start recognizing familiar faces at 4 months. Social smile 4 months pe hoti hai. Okay, that's not true, whatever people will tell you. So according to him, infants are biologically programmed. This is also a deterministic theory. तो ये कहते हैं कि हमारी internal deterministic, this he says that we have an internal working model. ठीक है? That means that we are innately programmed. हमारी innate capacity होती है ये development attachment form करनी. Okay, all right. That means we are innately programmed to build attachments with people around us, especially our caregivers or our parents. So in the sense, the moment we are born, it's very easy for us to latch on to a parent. 6 months later, 1 year later, and growing up in life also. Do we like to be alone all the time, or do we sometimes at least like having people around us? Do we like finding close friends? Do we like finding partners and all of that? हम चाहते हैं ना to be attached to other people. Thoda sa at least. Okay, all right, fine. According to John Bowlby, there is a critical or a sensitive period in a child's life, which is the first 24 months. पहले 2 साल में अगर बच्चा केयर गिवर के साथ अटैचमेंट फॉर्म करता है तो उनकी अडल्ट रिलेशनशिप्स भी हेल्दी और सक्सेसफुल होंगी. If the child is not able to form, proper relationships with caregivers, parent, mother, father, or any adoptive parents or anybody, then they will fail in adult relationships as well. Because according to him, जो भी हमारी पेरेंट्स के साथ रिलेशनशिप होती है, that serves as an internal working model for our adult relationships. Think about it. Are all of our relationships similar? जैसे हम एक रिलेशनशिप में बिहेव करते हैं, how we behave towards our parents, do we behave in the same mature or immature way with our partners as well? No? Okay. All right, fine. Then you're proving John Bowlby wrong. So what he is saying is, if you're insecure in your relationship with your parents, you are likely to feel insecure with your partner as well. If you feel a lot of, what do I say, if you're somebody who needs overprotection from parents, you will also feel like you want overprotection from the partner. And if you look at patterns of your needs for attachment, you will see that however you were as a child with your parents is similarly how you want to be with your partner after growing up. आप अगर नोटिस करोगे, काफी नोटिस करोगे, you will feel a lot of similarity. Okay, we are not saying the same relationship is there between you and your parents and you and your partner. The nature and the patterns of attachment are similar, क्योंकि हम बचपन में सीखते हैं, and that serves as an internal working model. It's like something is fed into our brain, okay, like a program, और हम वो flow chart use करते हैं. Like parents से जब हम गुस्सा हो जाते थे या गुस्सा हो जाते हैं, हम बात करना बंद कर देते हैं. Do we also do that with friends and partners? Probably. A person who uses silent treatment as a technique with one person will use silent treatment with all people, क्योंकि उनके पास उतना, they know so much on. Okay, ऐसा है. People who are passive aggressive with everybody. People who are open and expressive are open and expressive with everybody. Okay, ऐसा, हाँ, like this. Now here, monotropy means, we'll not talk about all of the development stages, but we will talk about what he meant by monotropy. सो जॉन बोल्बी सेड कि पहले तो हमें एक अटैचमेंट बिल्ड करनी होती है, बाकी अटैचमेंट जो हैं बाद में बनती हैं. सो सॉलिड अटैचमेंट हमारी पेरेंट के साथ होनी चाहिए, and this is generally developed by 8 to 11 months. Okay, at least with one primary caregiver. I say one primary caregiver क्योंकि सभी बच्चों के पेरेंट्स नहीं होते हैं. Some children are adopted, some children have lost their parents, so it is insensitive to say just parent. One primary caregiver. Primary caregiver parent हो सकता है, grandparent हो सकता है, या फिर adoptive parent भी हो सकता है, somebody in the foster homes. John Bowlby studied kids who were living in foster homes. Foster homes आपको पता है, orphanages basically. ठीक है, उसके बाद उनको foster homes लेके जाते थे. If they had not developed attachment in the first 2 years of their life when they were in the orphanage, बाद में नहीं होता था. It was not the same way. It was not the same level. So solid attachment, single attachment figure. Can you remember when you were very young, did you have a very strong single attachment figure who you would always call? ये चलता है. मतलब in the sense you will develop other attachments, लेकिन बाकी attachments हमेशा इससे कम strong होंगे. For me it was my dad. Okay, obsessively. हाँ, तो सॉलिड एक अटैचमेंट आपको पहले फॉर्म करना होता है. सो जनरली इट इज वन ऑफ द पेरेंट्स और इट इज अ ग्रैंड पेरेंट, ऐसा कुछ होता है. ठीक है, ओके फाइन. दिस इज व्हाट इज एक्चुअली रिक्वायर्ड. जब एक पेरेंट के साथ सॉलिड अटैचमेंट बनता है, उसके बाद क्या होता है, देन वी स्टार्ट डेवलपिंग अदर अटैचमेंट्स, अदर स्ट्रॉन्ग अटैचमेंट्स एज वेल, like uncles and aunts and so on. But that is only possible when the primary figure of attachment, monotropy जिसको हम कहते हैं, single attachment figure is already formed. Okay, then we move on to the phase of multiple attachment figures. Okay, uncles, aunts, grandparents. And there is a stage where the child only knows how to receive love. ऐसा भी स्टेज होता है, अगर आप बिल्कुल छोटे बच्चों के साथ देखोगे, वो नहीं रेसिप्रोकेट करते हैं, लेकिन उनको पसंद है कि उनको लव एंड केयर मिले. छोटे से बच्चे, at around 2 years is when you will see the child will also give you what they have. They will give you kisses and hugs and all that, and that basically happens much later, 2 to 3 years of age. Proper reciprocal attachment इसको कहते हैं. जो आप बच्चे को लव एंड केयर देते हो, वो भी देने की कोशिश करता है. ओके, दिस इज reciprocal attachment, basically returning the affect. Okay, All right, fine. Now here there are so many different phenomena which occur. There is stranger anxiety, there is separation anxiety, not with all children, but you will see at around 2 years of age, child will not want to stay without the mother, mostly mother or father. They will not want to stay. दोनों में से एक के बगैर एक से इतनी attachment होती है कि रहेंगे नहीं उनके बगैर. Okay, that is separation anxiety. दूर नहीं रह सकते attachment figure से. There is also stranger anxiety. Typically, you will see between 6 months only. 6 months to 2 years. आप देखेंगे या 1 year to 2 years. If the mother doesn't feel comfortable giving the child to someone, बच्चा रोना start करेगा. Because the child can sense that the mother is not comfortable with giving. If it's a stranger. Okay, all right. Based on this, मेरी Ainsworth developed her theory. अगर आप देखेंगे इसी पे मेरी Ainsworth ने अपनी theory develop की है. And this was based on a strange situation test. This is a really, really nice cartoon. I have not made it. I obtained it from the internet. It's called Storyboard or something like that. It's really, really nice. So here we will understand how this experiment was done. Okay, all right, fine. Experiment was known as strange situation test. So we were going to put a child in the room with a stranger for a little period of time and then understand कि बच्चे का behavior कैसा है. Okay. You see here what Bowlby is talking about. Can I say this is a secure attachment? ये अच्छी attachment है ना? This is where the child feels protected, safe, secure. क्या सब बच्चों को ये मिलती है? क्या सब बच्चों को ये मिलती है? No, this is not something that all children receive. So we need to understand what happens to other kids and what kinds of attachment patterns there are if all are not secure. Chaliye, let's try to understand. So in the strange situation test, first you have the mother and the baby. Mother और baby एक room में गए, वहां पे काफी सारे toys हैं and they are playing together. Okay, so just imagine there are lots of toys over here and they are playing. And the child is very comfortably playing in front of the mother. Okay, all right, fine. Then what happens is a stranger enters. Okay, stranger may shock the child a little bit or the child may get a little upset, but as long as the mother is there in a secure attachment, child should not get too upset. माँ तो वही है, ज्यादा upset क्यों होना है? हाँ, अगर secure attachment है तो बच्चा ज्यादा upset यहाँ पे नहीं. उसके बाद what happens is the mother leaves. Mother goes away. Then the child may show a little bit of distress or may show a lot of distress depending on the kind of attachment they have with the mother. ठीक है? Okay, हम कैसे attachment में क्या होता है इसके बाद डिस्कस. Then what happens if the stranger leaves the room and the mother comes back? Okay, all right. We will not talk about the mother leaving again and all that. We will not repeat all of this. Basically, what we care about is what is the child's behavior when the mother leaves. जब माँ चली जाती है तो बच्चे का बिहेवियर क्या होता है, जब स्ट्रेंजर आता है बच्चे का बिहेवियर क्या होता है, और जब माँ वापस आ जाती है बच्चे का बिहेवियर क्या होता है. Okay, I will repeat this in English. What is most important to us over here is how does the child behave when they enter the room with the mother. Then how do they behave when the mother leaves the room. Okay, all right. Then how do they behave when she comes back, and how are they around the stranger. That's what's important. Understood? If you understood, I will explain the different kinds of attachment and what the child's behavior will basically tell us about their attachment. Chali, wonderful, wonderful, very, very good. Chalo, theek hai. Now, if attachment is secure, yes, Surbi, that's actually true. Who is a stranger? The child doesn't really know, right? The child doesn't actually recognize everybody who's familiar. Stranger anxiety happens when the mother senses that is a stranger. Naye hai koi, somebody you're meeting for the first time, and the child does social referencing, right, from 10 months. बच्चा 10 महीने की एज से ही सोशल रेफरेंसिंग करता है, मतलब माँ के फेस को देखता है या dad's face is seen to see whether I should go, whether I should not go, what I should do, what I should not do, what kind of emotion I should experience. The fear in the mother is what is experienced by the child also. Okay, very, very interesting. Read up on it. Chalo, ठीक है. Okay. Now here we are talking about secure attachment first. Secure का मतलब है that the child basically will panic a little bit when the mother leaves. When the child comes into the room, They will explore, खेलेंगे अच्छे से toys के साथ खेलेंगे. Then when the mother leaves, naturally the child is going to be a little bit distressed. बच्चा थोड़ा सा रोएगा, ठीक है, they'll be like, mummy, mummy, where are you going and all that. Yes, so distress is going to be there, obviously, they're in a strange situation. But then when the mother comes back, they will welcome the mother and they will hug and they will kiss and they will show a lot of affection. ठीक है? माँ जब वापस आ जाती है यहाँ पे सिक्योर अटैचमेंट वाले बच्चों में, ये काफी अफेक्शन दिखाते हैं. They don't show anger or anything. They welcome the mother, saying, "Oh, I missed you. Where were you?" and all of that. ठीक है? Okay. All right. This is very, very normal behavior. Now, what happens if secure attachments have not been established? अगर secure attachment नहीं है तो फिर कैसा behavior होगा? One is insecure avoidant. What by avoidant? Literal meaning मुझे बताओ अब avoidant का मतलब क्या है? Avoidant का मतलब क्या होता है? आप बताइए. Literal meaning of avoidant. Somebody that avoids, somebody that is indifferent. हमें फर्क नहीं पड़ता. I don't care. I don't care. I want to avoid you. Yeah, I don't want to talk. I don't want to see. I don't want to play. I don't want to do anything. So here, first of all, when the child comes with the mother also, जब बच्चा माँ के साथ आता है तो काफी toys नहीं explore करता है. The child doesn't explore a lot and they do not play a lot. When the mother leaves, the child does not care. It's like, okay, you were here, fine. You're not here, okay, fine. Then when the mother comes back, how do you think they will act? When the stranger is there also, they don't care. When the mother comes back, how do you think they will act? They are avoidant through and through. इनको कोई फर्क ही नहीं पड़ता है. They are unresponsive or indifferent. They are indifferent throughout. इससे पता ये चलता है कि this child is being left alone for a long period of time at home. Okay, that they are facing neglect, that they are being ignored at home and they are not getting a lot of love and affection from the parent, and that is why they are used to this kind of behavior. It is nothing new for them. Now we talk about insecure resistant. ये सारे insecure attachments हैं, the other three. So don't get confused. Sub में insecure, why is it three? Just remember the avoidant, resistant and the disorganized part. Now we talk about resistant. Resistant basically is the one that either receives a lot of love. मैं काफी दफा कहती हूँ कि Indian parenting ज्यादातर ये है. Either you get a lot of love or you get a lot of scolding. Was your childhood like this? Some days you are showered with toys and love and so much affection, and some days it is just scolding from morning to night. Okay, all right. So यहाँ पे बच्चा भी erratic pattern दिखाता है behavior का. बच्चा भी ऐसा ही behavior दिखाता है. Okay, if parent comes back from work and they're in a good mood, all love you will get. If they come back and they're in a bad mood, you better stay quiet and not talk. So it's like that. Anyway, all right. Now this one always wants to cling to the caregiver because there is that threat of abandonment. ठीक है, threat of abandonment रहती है तो बच्चा क्या करता है? Always wants to cling to the caregiver. Now when the caregiver gets up and leaves, a stranger आ जाता है, what do you think they do? They cry their eyes out. What you're seeing over here, ये बहुत रोते हैं. Okay, they cry the most. Okay, and when the mother comes back, they are so upset with the mother that they start hitting and they say, don't pick me up, I don't want to come with you. They're basically throwing a temper tantrum. Now I understand my. So they are throwing a temper tantrum. मतलब ये pick up करना resist करते हैं. This is the kind of person who says, get away from me, but they actually want a lot of love. Do they actually want the parent to leave them there and go? क्या ये चाहते हैं कि parent उठ के चला जाए? No, they want love. They want the parent to smother them with love and pick them up anyway and say, I'm sorry, I left you alone. Okay? All right? When the mother returns is when this behavior happens. So temper tantrum को calm करना होता है. That is, they want attention. That's why they're. Now really sad state. तो ये हुआ आपका resistant के लिए. Last stage or the last type of attachment that we'll talk about is disorganized attachment. यहाँ पे क्या होता है? There is no consistent pattern and there is very, very clear physical abuse towards the child. Ma'am, later they show the same with their friends also. People may show. अगर आप देखेंगे, what I have noticed in my siblings or in my family or people around me, how they were 10 years ago is still how they are. How they must have been as children is how they are now also. ज्यादा नहीं change होते हैं लोग. At least some behavior patterns remain same. Especially this, how people show affection. There will be people who will basically, want to do things for other people. There will be people who want other people to do things for them. तो क्या होता है? ये बचपन से होता है. Depending on what kind of attachments they have had earlier in their life. Anyway, all right. Now, disorganized is quite sad. This child is dazed and confused all the time. Dazed matlab they look lost. It's like they're always looking out ki, oh my God, who's looking at me? Okay? या मुझे कोई मारेगा तो नहीं. आप देखेंगे, if you clap in front of this person, they will get startled like this. This is somebody who has been hit a lot as a child. ठीक है? इनको इस बच्चे को मार बहुत पड़ती है. एंड लाइक आई सेड, फिजिकल बीटिंग और एनीथिंग लाइक दैट इज जस्ट अब्यूज. उसको हम ग्लोरीफाई नहीं कर सकते. दैट इज नॉट डिसिप्लिन, बट दैट इज अब्यूज. सो दिस चाइल्ड हैज बीन फिजिकली अब्यूज्ड एट होम अ लॉट. So they think all strangers and all adults are only going to hurt them. तो ये strange situation test में actually जाके टेबल के नीचे बैठ जाते हैं. टेबल is not here, but generally जो होता है, जो बुक्स में होता है, टेबल होता है वहां पे, goes and hides under the furniture and doesn't want to go back with the parents. This is utterly sad, neglected and abused. समझ रहे हैं आप? They have no affection for the parent. They are actively scared of the parent. जाना नहीं चाहते वापस parent के साथ. If you have understood here, please let me know. We'll move on. We have one more theory which we'll look at just another 5 minutes and then we are done. चलो ठीक है. Clear. All right, wonderful. चलो ठीक है. Now we talk about Diana Baumrind and her styles of parenting. One. All right, so Diana Baumrind and her styles of parenting. Okay, this was actually inspired by Kurt Lewin's theory of leadership styles, autocratic, democratic and laissez-faire. Okay, वो भी हम study करेंगे main course में. अभी के लिए हम देखेंगे authoritative, authoritarian, permissive और uninvolved parenting क्या होती. So not all parents have the same style, discipline of maintaining discipline. Some parents don't even want to maintain discipline. They'll say, I'm your friend and this and that. Chalo, theek hai. Now, authoritative is actually great. Authoritative में warmth, मतलब affection high होती है, काफी love मिलता है, काफी care मिलता है, लेकिन demand भी high होती है. So we will write here, high warmth and high demand, मतलब accountability. Parents are like, okay, I gave you so much. What did you do with it? I gave you so much of my time. I invested so much in you. Now, what did you do? In return for it, what did you do? Or what are you doing with your life? Tell me. I want to see your assignments. Are you actually doing them? You've enrolled in a library. Tell me what have you studied over there. So authoritative mein, there is enough hold also and there is enough freedom also. This is also known as the democratic style. And this is going to raise independent children with self-esteem. Okay, with good self-esteem. All right, okay, fine. Conditional relationship, nahi, not like that. So here it's about on what basis do we give rewards and punishment. Okay, it's not a conditional relationship necessarily. Love may be unconditional. It's just that these parents are very expressive. Uske baad authoritarian, no love, only demand. Okay, so low want but high demand. आप मेरी हर एक बात मानो, but I will not listen to anything you say. Okay, मैंने कह दिया तो हो गया. No discussion, no deciding together, nothing, no stakeholdership of the child in their own life. बच्चे को अपने decisions नहीं बनाने को मिलते हैं. Child doesn't get to even express how they feel. Okay, so this child is going to end up really with low self-esteem, really anxious, unhappy, and aggressive because these parents generally use aggression to tame the child. Okay, authoritarian parents ज्यादातर बच्चों को मारते हैं, पीटते हैं अपनी बात मनवाने के लिए. Okay, all right. So therefore, this child will also have some pent-up aggression, which they may grow up and show towards others. Then we have permissive parenting. This is, I will give you the world. That's all. I don't want anything in return. You will see people who, will do this in relationships as well. Anyway, so here, I will do everything for you. You don't do anything. This is the overprotective type. Permissive में क्या होता है? तो love कितना मिलेगा यहाँ पे? Want? High want, but no demand. No demand at all. You do anything at all, I will be there for you. You abuse people also, I'll be there for you. You don't talk to me also, I'll be there for you. Zyada ho gaya. Okay. All right. Overindulgence, spoiling the children. And therefore, the child is going to be impulsive. They will say, nahi, mere classroom mein bhi mujhe hi, meri hi baat suno. Huh? Why don't you only talk to me? Why don't you only listen to me? Why don't things work out in my life just the way I want? Okay, so these people end up impulsive, disobedient, overly dependent on others, and they take low initiative in their life because they are used to other people doing things for them. Lastly, uninvolved. Uninvolved is laissez-faire. I don't care. I don't care. तुम्हें जो करना है तुम करो. I never wanted children, so you do what you want. Or I have too much to do. I am busy with work. You do, you do. Okay, so no care also and no demand also. Absolutely, absolutely. So here, antisocial behavior means trying to exploit other people because these people or these children may never grow up understanding what maintaining relationships is like. Okay, they will obviously be anxious. They will have poor communication skills as well. That is Diana Baumrinn's theory, and with that, we have finished today's class. If there are any doubts, please ask. Otherwise, we are good to. Clear? Chalo. So we have one more theory. I mean, we have one more. Yeah, we have one more. Yes, first one is better. Authoritative parenting is the best. So we have one more class of theory in this mini series, which we will do, I think, tomorrow morning or Friday morning. I think tonight, आज आपको 7:30 बजे शाम को YouTube की class है on Eastern psychology. I'll give you the main points of it. Do come and attend. ठीक है? तो फ्राइडे को है इसकी और एक थ्योरी क्लास. टुमारो मॉर्निंग वी विल बी डूइंग द एमसीक्यूज ऑन दिस. ठीक है? All right, guys. Please take very good care of yourself. Take care. Bye. I hope you liked the class. If you did like the class, please upvote it after you leave. And if you want to join, if you want to study from me for your net, then you can go ahead, use the code and subscribe. Bye bye. Have a great day. Have a great day. Thank you so much. Bye bye.